Hi you guys, Nana here. Thank you so very much for clicking on my very first video. Today I want to talk about astral projection. Specifically, I want to discuss two of my favorite astral projection stories. I want to tell you guys about it. But before I get into it, I just want to talk a little bit about why I made this channel, why I created this channel, and basically in a nutshell, the things that I am into, the things that I like to research on my personal time, the things that tend to like grab my attention. I don't really have anybody, I don't have too many people to talk to about it in my, well, really anybody to talk to about it in my waking life, because, you know, it's just not their thing. You know, they're just not interested in it, and that's okay. So I figured I would create this platform to connect with like-minded individuals, just to get some feedback, and also I hope to maybe challenge some people to think a new way, you know, or, you know, see the world with a different set of eyes, you know. So yeah, those are my intentions for this channel. So yeah, well, we will see how it goes. But like I said, I want to talk to you guys about astral projection. So to start, what is astral projection? Even though I feel like if you click on this video, then the chances of you already knowing what astral projection is pretty high, but let's say you don't know. So astral projection is when you are sleeping or you are in a deep meditative state and your soul is able to detach from your body and explore different dimensions, different realms, things like that. That's essentially what astral projection is in a nutshell. So I don't know, I don't quite remember when I first started researching astral projection. I do know that as a child I used to astral project a lot. I thought it was a dream at the time, but yeah, I used to astral project a lot, and that was something that I did not remember, something that I could not recall until I saw a picture by are you guys familiar with the artist Alex Gray? If you're not, look up his work. It's super interesting. Like, yes, super interesting, super like eerie for me, super familiar. But anyway, I saw a painting by him that I'll put, I don't know, somewhere around here. Yeah, I saw this painting, and it triggered a feeling of like familiarity, and I'm like, what, you know, why does this seem so familiar? Why does this look so familiar? Blah, blah, blah. And I didn't realize that I had been in this like realm before until, well, actually I was looking at it for like a while, over a period, on and off over a period of time, like over a period of a few weeks, and then one day just like, yo, I've been here before. That's why this seems so familiar, or whatever. So there were subtle differences though. Like, I remember like the faces and everything were pretty much the same. It seemed like they were in like a never-ending like loop. The loops are kind of never-ending, right? But whatever, never-ending loop. And the primary colors that I remember were white, black, and gold. So it's primarily white, you know, black for their eyes or whatever, and like gold somewhere. I feel like they have red lips, but that could just be me pushing it, you know. This is like a memory that I kind of remember, but not really. But anyway, why that particular astral projection story was so, why that particular astral projection moment in my life as a kid, why it was so significant, is because, okay, so in remembering that day, I remember sleeping, going there, waking up, and trying to go back to sleep, because at the time I thought it was a dream. So I tried to go back to sleep, you know, to get back to that place, and I couldn't do it, y'all. I couldn't do it. And I remember that day I was really sad. For whatever reason, I was so sad. I was so down. It's crazy how all of that came flooding back to me. Not now, but you know, in that moment. Yeah, I was so sad. I was so down. And now, looking back on it, I feel like the reason why I was so like down that day is because either something communicated to me or there was something that I knew innately that was going to be the last time that I was in that realm playing with those beings for a very long time. Yeah, I think that's what it was. This was in like second grade. So yeah, I feel like maybe my energy or my vibrational pattern changed so much after that I wasn't able to astral project. That's just my theory. I don't know. I guess we'll never know. But anyway, moving on to my favorite astral projection story. So fast forward till now, or a few years back. Now around this time, I had been doing a lot of spiritual work. There were a lot of changes occurring in my life. So I was doing a lot of like meditating, a lot of yoga, a lot of Reiki sessions. I had just a lot of praying and just really trying to connect with myself. A lot of changes happening in my life. So yeah. So one day, this first astral projection story happens to be the night of 11/11, so November 11th. Super interesting, right? Yeah, I woke up in the middle of the night, and back then, I used to be a wee head, y'all. So I woke up in the middle of the night, took 2 tokes, boop, boop, and then I went back to sleep. Now, here's the interesting thing about this story, right? I went back to sleep. I went to lay down on my boyfriend's chest, which is super interesting because now when I astral project, for the most part, I have to be laying on my back. It's a lot easier to do when I'm laying on my back. So the fact that I was able to do it when I was laying on his chest was interesting. Here's another interesting thing about this particular astral projection story. I feel like something put me to sleep, right? It was kind of like it felt almost immediately. Like I laid on his chest to go to sleep, and I feel like something was just kind of like sucked me in, like, go to sleep. Like, all right, it's time. You out, right? And then yeah, so after I got sucked in, I was floating in the dark. What a lot of people refer to as the void. So I had studied enough by then to know that, okay, this is the void. I'm in that place where people call the void. So I'm floating around in the dark, and I remember this feeling, right? I remember feeling like I remember saying to myself, okay, this is love, right? This is what love feels like. I remember saying that to myself. Now, really quickly, in all of my astral projection experiences, there's always this female energy, like somewhere, behind me. I've never seen her, I've never met her, but I can feel her presence there. Almost like a guardian angel or like a spirit guide. I don't know who she is, but I know she's there for my good because that's what it feels like. So, okay, so I'm in a void, right? And I'm there, I feel her energy, and then I hear her say, "Who would you like to meet?" Right? So prior to this particular experience, I've heard that question before. Like I've heard that question, who would you like to meet? And the very first time I heard that question, y'all, I bombed it, like completely bombed the shit. So I was floating up. This is a different astral projection story. I was floating up into like this machine looking cloud, and I heard, "Who would you like to meet?" And the question caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting it. And for some reason I said the name of a boy that I had a crush on when I was in elementary school, which was super weird, super random. And then as soon as I said that, I just kind of stopped floating up to the machine cloud, and then I, floated back down. I'm like, damn, like, why did I say that? Whatever. It was too late though. So anyway, I hear this quote now, back to this original astral projection story. I'm sorry, I know I'm going back and forth a lot, y'all, but I hope y'all can keep up. So I hear the question again from her. Everything is happening in my head. So I hear the question in my head. She says, "Who would you like to meet?" So now this time I was prepared. After that experience, I'm like, okay, this is the person. If I ever hear that question again, I'm gonna say this name, right? And so this time when I heard the question, I say the name of an angel that I know is with me and like watches over me because I drew her card in one of my Reiki sessions. So I say her name, right? So as soon as I say her name, I get pixelating, right? It starts from my sides, like pixelating, 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 pixelating. And I'm looking like, And so I say, I don't think I'm ready for this, right? And as soon as I say that, boom, everything stops. I'm back in that black void, and I can feel myself floating back down into my body like a feather, right? And boop, I wake up. And I woke up and I'm like, oh my God, damn, like, why did I say that? Like, why did I say that? Yeah, even now, like when I think about that particular experience, it would have been really interesting to see what happened, you know what I'm saying, after the pixelation stopped. But in that, when it was happening, I was looking like, okay, this is creepy. Like, I'm good. And I don't know, whatever. Anyway, moving on. Second favorite astral projection story. So, I'm sleeping and soul disconnects, and now I get transported into like this glowy looking like jungle. Like, yeah, like it's like a jungle, but and it's nighttime. It's clearly nighttime, but there's like a glow. Almost like, I feel almost similar to like, okay, so do you guys remember, I want to lean up, but then the sun is like, nope. Or maybe it's like, yep. Anyway, have you guys ever seen, like, for those of you who have seen Avatar, like, I feel like there's a part of the jungle, whatever, that like glows, but it wasn't like an extreme glow. The jungle I was in, it wasn't like an extreme glow, like a very like like a light glow, but it was a jungle and it was clearly nighttime, right? Cool. So I'm sitting there, and then there are these like really bright purple fluorescent lights, and they are like zipping past me like pew, 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 pew. So I'm looking, right, trying to make out what's doing this or whatever. I'm just looking, they just, and then, you know, my road dog, my spirit guide, or whoever she is, she speaks to me. She goes like, talk to them, you can talk to them. And so in my head again. And so in my head, I'm like, I can't see you guys. Like, I don't know. I can't see you guys. And as soon as I said that, one of them stopped right in front of me. Oh my God. So freaking cute. So freaking beautiful. Okay, I want to try and paint a picture for you guys. Okay, so have you guys ever saw Lilo and Stitch? That movie, that animated movie, Lilo and Stitch. So I've never seen it, but I don't know who Lilo is, and I don't know who Stitch is. But there was a character in there who, it was purple, and it was like it was like a purple looking monkey rabbit type thing. That's how these beings or whatever it was looked in my astral projection experience, like that purple rabbity looking monkey type thing, but so cute. And they had the biggest, friendliest, cutest eyes. Like, okay, so you know how like little puppies are like, oh my God, I'm so cute, look at me, oh, love me. That's how it was. It was such a heart, like literal, like a heartwarming feeling, like such a like you're safe feeling. That's how it felt, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, oh, I remember like just feeling like really relaxed. And once that feeling of like relaxation came over me, I remember them coming all around me and then raising me up, like up, very high, very high. Like I felt like I was past sky limits. And I got a little spooked, of course, right? My human self. Got a little spooked, and so I'm like, okay, you guys can let me down now, right? And so they slowly start letting me down. And in my waking life, in my reality, I think I made like a sound, and that caused my boyfriend to like wake me up. So he's like, wake up, wake up. I'm like, no. I woke up like, no, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Or whatever. But in his defense, a few years back, I used to have really bad night terrors. So when I made that sound in my sleep, he thought I was having a night terror. So yeah, he was trying to like protect me, so to speak. So yeah, there you have it. Those are my 2 favorite astral projection stories. Leave a comment but down below about your astral projection story. If you have a link to any of your astral projection stories, post it down below. Unless it's negative, like, I'm sorry, but I don't want to hear about like your demonic astral projection stories. Thanks but no thanks. You can leave that to yourself. But yeah, I like to hear about this stuff. I like to talk about this stuff. So like, comment, subscribe, and let's keep this thing going. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you. Peace.